Wow, well, the entire world is on a standstill as never before seen. A global event is currently going on, and we all have had to adjust our lifestyle to be able to stay safe. Now, a massive change is ongoing around the world due to the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. So we advise that you strictly follow all health guidelines. And of course, yesterday, you know that the president made his speech, and that sort of changes things, especially for those of us here in Lagos. Over the next 14 days, it's officially going to be a lockdown, no movement. And we want you to keep safe and ensure that you wash your hands at all times. Use hand sanitizers where you can, and keep your hands away from your eyes, nose, mouth, and most importantly, social distancing, meaning not going around and hanging out with friends, if you know what I mean. So for the next 14 days, we're going to be home. And the show goes on, though. And we will do our best to be here every single day at 6 a.m. for you to bring you the very best of breakfast entertainment. We have top-notch television content lined for you today. So stick around with us on this journey. 3 hours straight. Your early dose of premium family entertainment on Wake Up Nigeria. Right now, my name is Yomi Owope, and we are live also at tvcentertainment.tv, just in case NEPA strikes or something. Anyway, we're also at TVC Connect on Facebook, so you can watch us on your mobile device anywhere you are. Means also you can check us out on our mobile app, both on the Android and iOS stores. And this app lets you watch us from anywhere in the world. Now, tell us how you feel about this COVID-19 and the stay at home, the lockdown. Use the hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC and let us know what you're up to these days. Now, first up this morning, we have tech updates. So we're going to be finding out what's new with the world of technology. Really, really important new apps coming up right now. Also, for some inspiration, we have Daily Vulnerable by Chude Chidomo.
Practices for living a joyful life is to be grateful every day, to actually keep a gratitude journal. But sometimes some people, the way that we are grateful is to compare ourselves with other people.
For a tour around the world in 3 minutes, we have 180 seconds coming up shortly. We're going to be taking you to one of our destinations.
You today are welcome to another edition of 100.
And for some more positive vibes on the show, we have a message from life coach, emotional intelligence expert, and author Tosin Imogeme. On Pet Segment today, Titi recently visited a pet store to find out a little bit more about monkeys, believe it or not. And we've got a spoken word artist on the show today, Marvel Iyare, also known as MTB. Is a spoken word artist, a rapper, and he's going to be sharing some strong vibes with us on the show. Joining us this morning via Skype is Mary Ogundimu, a conscientious, motivated lady, passionate about women development and enhancement. She's going to be talking to us about building relevant skills in a knowledge economy and how to monetize them. And building knowledge skills is really, really important this period.
How you doing?
Welcome, Mary. How's it going?
Very well. How you doing?
The roads are absolutely free this morning.
Fact.
So the lockdown is officially going to start tonight.
11 p.m.
11 p.m. tonight, and so everybody's trying to do their last-minute shopping and ensure that they're prepared for the next 14 days.
People have been wondering about the lockdown. Is it a case of the way it has been in Lagos, where you can still go to the market and buy produce, or it's now a case of nobody even going out to buy anything?
So what's eventually going to happen is that the rules will change. What I heard yesterday is that they're going to loosen some of the rules. So
Okay.
even if you do leave the house, it's going to just be like what they did in Wuhan, where you can leave the house, but you can't drive far.
Okay.
So one member of the house will leave, maybe do shopping, a little bit of grocery shopping, markets and all of that. So people will be able to do that. But you cannot drive like a long distance or attempts to go to work or attempt to go and visit somebody.
So the moment you're on the highway or you're on the
Exactly,
expressway,
exactly.
you should have a reason for being there.
So
I think
neighborhood shops.
it's okay.
Well, yeah, well, if it's within an estate, yeah, that's okay. But if it's on a highway, probably not. They will be shut down. So across all the highways, there won't be public transportation moving, no Okadas, nothing on the roads at all.
Several
So
people-
no car movements at all for the next 14 days, starting from tomorrow.
Several people made reports of in their neighborhood finding mobile police officers. All of a sudden, they're everywhere. And I just want to say, instead of everyone getting agitated, let's just be patient. Let's just do what the law has described, you know.
Exactly.
The government has given an order, so let's just obey it. It's for our own good, it's for our own safety. Last night, during my radio show, some people called in, you know, they were talking about how they don't have food to eat. They don't know how they're going to cope during this period. And the government has said they're going to provide aid. Now, the question many people are asking is, how would the
How
aid
is
get
it going
to
to
them?
happen? Yeah.
Yeah, so this is also a call again to those in charge of this aid. Please do your job diligently.
So
this is
I-
not the
yeah.
time to hoard.
So one of the most important things I feel for this period is for people to stay close to their radio
Yeah.
and their TV, if you have one, to make sure that you have updated information.
Yes.
Because like I said, the information that you get will continually evolve on a daily basis.
Yes, yes.
Restrictions might be eased after 1 week. If suddenly they discover that things are better, you know, so they might say, okay, now you can go out.
It's quite
so-
unlikely,
yeah.
though.
Oh yeah, exactly. So
Because in the UK, the health ministry was talking about the possibility of extension to 6 months. Like they're like, for like 6 months, there might still be a bit of restriction because it really is serious.
exactly.
So
exactly.
we need to keep that in mind, that even if there's a recess, always keep it at the back of your mind that there might be another shutdown. It's not because the government likes locking down, you know, having to feed the nation, but because of our safety,
Yeah.
our security as well.
Yeah, so really, really important. And even on Twitter, the governor of Lagos State was encouraging people that let's be resilient. Let's make sure that we don't panic or begin to you know,
Very
feel any
important.
fear.
Panic is one of the things that kill people the most.
Well, anyway, I'm going to take the news now, and we begin with some breaking news this hour that is going on regarding new COVID cases. 14 more cases of the disease of the coronavirus have been confirmed in Nigeria. According to the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, 9 new cases were discovered in Lagos and 5 in the Federal Capital Territory. As at about 30 minutes ago, the total COVID cases in Nigeria is 111, with 1 reported death. And before now, President Muhammadu Buhari addressed the nation at 7 o'clock last night for the first time on how the government is dealing with the coronavirus pandemic. Kemi Fola-Adeyemi reports.
The president's address to Nigerians was much awaited since the pandemic found its way into the country. Muhammadu Buhari noted that most of the cases confirmed are in Lagos and Abuja. The other states affected are persons who traveled from the 2 epicenters in the country. And so to limit interstate and intercity movement, this is his decision.
I am directing the cessation of all movements in Lagos and the FCT for an initial period of 14 days with effect from 11 p.m. on Monday, 30th March 2020. This restriction will also apply to Ogun State due to its close proximity to Lagos and the high traffic between the 2 states.
The president warns that there will be strict compliance as all relevant authorities have been notified. Those exempted from this presidential order are hospitals and related medical establishments, including manufacturing and distribution, companies involved in food processing, distribution and retail, as well as those involved in petroleum distribution and retail. Also exempted are firms dealing in power generation, distribution and transmission, and private security firms. Others are those working in the telecommunications sector, as well as broadcasting and print, who must all prove that they cannot work from home. There will also be strict measures monitoring the sea, land, and air borders.
I will therefore ask all of us affected by this order to put aside our personal comfort to safeguard ourselves and fellow human beings or against COVID-19. Many other countries have taken far stricter measures in a bid to control the spread of the virus with positive results.
The president also says there will be palliatives for the vulnerable persons in the society who will be affected by this clampdown.
For residents of satellite and commuter towns and communities around Lagos and Abuja, whose livelihoods will surely be affected by some of these restrictive measures, we shall deploy relief materials to ease their pains in the coming weeks. More, I have directed that a 3-month repayment moratorium for all trader money, market money, and farmer money loans be implemented with immediate effect. I have also directed that a similar moratorium be given to all federal government-funded loans issued by the Bank of Industry, Bank of Agriculture, and the Nigerian Export-Import Bank.
He says the presidential task force is coordinating all efforts by the federal government to ensure the prevention and treatment of COVID-19 in the country, and he is prepared for any eventualities. Kemi Foladiemo, TVC News.
And the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, has warned Nigerians to remain vigilant and take precautionary measures against criminal elements who might take advantage of the emergency situation created by the pandemic to increase their activities. In a statement through Public Relations Officer Frank Mba, the police chief disclosed that the force had received intelligence that fraud and cybercrime are expected to rise due to the lockdown in some states. He enjoined the public to strictly adhere to the following security tips. This hour, and we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back. We have loads of stories in the newspapers this morning, most of them talking about the lockdown for Lagos, Ogun, Abuja. And we're starting with the Punch. And it says, Buhari locks down Lagos, Ogun, Abuja. Cases reach 111. And a few writers here. Federal government's 14-day stay-at-home order begins at 11 p.m. tonight. And a UCH CMD, Provost, NIS boss test positive to coronavirus. I will be in Lagos this week. Be back soon, Abba Kyari says. And up here, we have a few stories. Petrol imports. Marketers raise concerns over dollar shortage. And senators donate half salaries to slash National Assembly budget. And soldiers attack Punch van, stop newspaper from South. And lending deposit ratio, bank loans rise to 2.35 trillion naira. Stallion offers government hospitals 3-month free rice, fish. And Air Peace evacuates 274 Israelis from Nigeria. And a few other stories at the bottom here on the cover of the Punch newspaper. Customs stray bullet kill student, injure 15 in Ogun. Explosions, Gani Adams suspects foul play, demands probe. Oyo task force impounds 22 vehicles at clubhouses. Oshibajo, Atiku, Sanwo-Olu, others hail Tinubu at 68. Hoodlums butcher photographer, injure Lagos monarch, others. And elders tackle Obasanjo over ex-residence's donation as isolation center. And that's it on the Punch. Next, we've got The Nation here. Buhari shuts down Lagos, Abuja, Ogun for 14 days. Federal government revs up anti-COVID-19 battle. And Senate backs president's action. And here, 100 billion Naira healthcare stimulus. CBN sets 2 billion Naira limit for borrowers. And Tinubu, I didn't call for printing of Naira notes. And Abba Kyari says, I've been working from home. And row over cause of Akure explosions. Residents count losses. And that's what we've got on the cover of The Nation. And The Guardian is next. Buhari shuts down Lagos, Abuja, Ogun for 14 days. And why 5 million metering gap may persist, import charges, COVID-19 worsened situation, and a few other riders there on the cover of The Guardian. Up here, global shortage of testing capacity. Ventilators threaten efforts to contain COVID-19. That story is on page 4. Immigration CG tests positive for COVID-19. And COVID-19 experts predict new wave of mortgage defaults. That's over in the US. And concerns mount over underground water pollution in Lagos communities. And on the cover of The Guardian, we have 2 photo stories. First is full compliance with closure of worship houses. And here we have the House on the Rock Church in Abuja. And there's a big sign on it that says, no service today. Go to our Facebook page and YouTube where they're live. And there's another curious photograph here. People not keeping to the social distancing that we talked about. But I'm going to read that to you. It says, residents of Naira village in Kaduna queuing to collect cash and food items during the donation of cash and food items to Kaduna residents to cushion the effects of COVID-19. And this was in Naira yesterday. And you can see that they're packed together like sardines. Way too close, not even given an inch. And that's what we have on the cover of The Guardian. And here we have the Vanguard with the headline, COVID-19, Buhari orders lockdown in Lagos, FCT, Ogun. And restriction on movement effective 11 p.m. Today in Ogun, Lagos and FCT. And media workers exempted if, that's for us media workers. So it's not just about your ID card now. Pilgrims, camps, stadia to be used as isolation centers. Air transport suspended, 15 billion Naira intervention package provided already. Wow. And Abba Kyari speaks from isolation, says he's moving to Lagos for treatment. The COVID-19 outlook for foreign investments in treasury bills dims. That's a business story that you can find inside. And global infection hits 700,000 as experts predicts 200,000 deaths in U.S. Akure explosion, NASRDA false police report. Travelers stranded as security agents enforce lockdown in Rivers, Delta, Ekiti, others. Wow. Why I went into one chance robbery by female gang member. That's a story on crime on page 6. And federal government failed to explore testing options, say experts. Serap to federal government, publish weekly spending details on COVID-19. That's a good one. And Tinubu donates 200 million Naira to Lagos government and NCDC. And UI College of Medicine Provost, Deputy Immigration Boss test positive. And that's what we have on the cover of the Vanguard. And let's check out the Nigerian Tribune this morning. Lots of stories still under lockdown. COVID-19, Buhari locks down Lagos, Ogun, Abuja. And it says, this is a matter of life and death. How true that is. And a few writers here, directs cessation of all movements from 11 p.m. today for 14 days. And all businesses, offices to be fully closed. And plans on to sustain school feeding program. 3-month repayment moratorium for all trader money, market money, and farmer money loans in place. And similar moratorium put in place for all federal government-funded loans by BOI, Bank of Agriculture, and Nexim Bank. 2-month food ration for IDPs. That's good news. And UCH CMD, College of Medicine Provost Deputy Immigration CG test positive. And Onitsha Bridge shut. And Fayemi Oyetola order lockdown in Ekiti, Oshun. Nigeria records 40 new cases of COVID-19 and total now 111. And you can see on the cover of the Tribune there's a drawing of what it looks like right now for COVID-19 in about 11 states across the country. And hopefully we can keep safe with this lockdown. And on the cover of the Daily Sun, let me just squeeze that in very quickly. In bids to prevent COVID-19 spread, Buhari orders lockdown of Lagos, Abuja, and Ogun. Movement out into states, federal capital territory, banned for 14 days. Residents ordered to stay at home except those on essential services. Global cases now almost 700,000. And the COVID-19 fears in armed forces as top officers test positive. Immigration CG, UCH CMD, UI College of Medicine Provost Deputy 2. And over here, Anambra announces closure of Onitsha River Niger Bridge, and Fayemi Makinde Ogwanyi, others impose restriction of movements. Look beyond Lagos, help other states, Senate tells banks. And commuters stranded as Delta enforces border closure. And on the cover of the Daily Sun here, you would find there's the infographic that tells us what the situation of things right now. There are, I think, 12 states affected right now with the COVID-19 virus. And these are the states in red. You can see them over here. And the states in green are free for now. And hopefully it stays that way for the next 2 weeks. And that's what we have on the newspaper headlines. We're going to tell you what traffic is like in Lagos. Hopefully it's free, even though you might be going out to do some shopping. We'll be right back.
Well, thank you for staying tuned. It is time for traffic updates here in Lagos. And we are about to give you updates on what the roads are saying right now.
Yeah.
Me and I were having a giggle because we're like,
the roads are very
where's
free.
the traffic? Oh, but you know, you never can tell. And I actually have a few surprises here myself.
Yeah.
Let me give you a quick one. This one is for those traversing from Abule Egba to Mushin bus stop. At the moment, it's a freeway. You know, it's sweet to say freeway until you get to Yanokpaja. It's not, well, so around that axis, you would experience light traffic. It's not even Yanokpaja, Ile-Epo bus stop. You'd experience light traffic, okay? But it's only for a short while. There is no gridlock, it's just light traffic. But guess what? From there, through Yanokpaja, I mean the almighty Yanokpaja, it's a freeway. And that freeway continues through the almighty Ile-Zik to Ikeja along. Can you believe it? And it continues that way till, wow, I'm loving this, till you get to Oshodi. That's where the traffic
So what's the duration of
the duration of the traffic is just about, 10 minutes? It's a gridlock, actually. It's not light traffic. It's like instant gridlock. That's just after the bridge. That's the Oshodi Bridge. So you just prepare your mind for that. But besides that, it's a freeway until you're close to Mushin. That's where you experience light traffic. Just after the Naipost axis, the light traffic starts till you get to Mushin bus stop. But it's not bad, though. At the moment, it will take you just about 37 minutes if you're driving, and that's
nice
fantastic.
and smooth.
Yes.
That's nice and smooth. Over here, I mean, here I've got Iju Shaga all the way to Yaba right now. Is just about 40 minutes. So,
wow.
Which is not bad at all.
Wow.
Most areas are kind of free. So Ikeja under the bridge. Agege is also free, pretty free. We have a bit of traffic at some point, I think at the bus stop, but it looks like that's the normal thing, and it's actually not so bad. If you go through Agege, it's about, it'll take you about, Agege through Oshodi, Taxi Park and all of that, it'll take you about 55 minutes. But if you're going through Ojodu, Ojota and Ikorodu Road, it will take you less than that. That's about 39 minutes, about 40 minutes.
Fantastic
So it looks also like lots of people thought that the curfew, or sorry, the lockdown
today.
starts this morning.
It's like some people will not receive 1 day salary.
So it doesn't
It
start.
hasn't started. It's starting tomorrow.
Well, it's starting tonight.
Well, tonight basically, but if
yeah.
you're working, it's starting tomorrow, basically.
Exactly,
So,
exactly.
Which is also a call to employers. Please let your employees leave work early today. The last thing you want is for them to do frog jump from Oshodi to Yanokwaja just because they left the office around 7 p.m. and they're getting home around midnight.
Yeah, so the roads are free for now. Eventually, people, of course, are going to go out and buy
Food stuff,
and stock up for the next 2 weeks. But I know that people have also been shopping bit by bit over the last 1 week or so. So that's also probably the reason why there isn't so much pressure on the roads.
For those who just got paid, though, just got paid. You want to shop today. 2 weeks is a long time if you can afford it, that is. And if you cannot, keep listening to the radio, watching TV to get information on how you can get aid, especially from the government.
Yeah,
right?
so that's
okay.
That's
So
really good,
let me give you this quick one: Motorways Center, all the way to Obalende under bridge. Yomi.
How long is that?
So let me just describe this traffic. So it's a freeway. In fact, that freeway continues, Third Mainland, you're feeling good until you get to that intersection from Clinic Road. That's where there's a light traffic and then a bit of gridlock and then light traffic. But as soon as you're past that intersection, it's freeway. It's a scary one. As you're approaching Obalende, though, that's the bridge access, that's where you would experience instant gridlock. It's not even light traffic, it's instant gridlock. Now, this is
which area?
That's Third Mainland Bridge access.
Okay.
Please, I am begging. This is not the time for you to go a 150. This is not the time for you to just take advantage of the freeways. Please be very careful. If you have an accident, you will cause traffic and you lose your life. And we don't want that. Even if you don't lose your life, it might be something really terrible. So please try as much as possible to drive carefully. You'll still arrive safely at your destination. For goodness sake, as at now, if you're driving, it will take you just 28 minutes to go all the way from Motorways to Obalende. What now? Just take it easy, all right? You'll get to your destination safe and sound, okay? Yeah. All right, so I believe that's it, right?
Yeah, so I think, that's basically it. Well, I just wanted to look at Ikorodu Road.
Okay, sure.
It looks like Ikorodu Road is kind of free if you were going from Allen Junction, say, throughout Ikorodu Road, Mobolaji Bank Anthony, the roads are free right now, which is really, really good. So if you need to do any kind of shopping, whether you need to quickly go to Yaba or Uingbo or any of these major markets, K2, Mile 12, all of that, do that quickly this morning so that you can be back home and ready for the next 2 weeks.
In fact, this is the best time for neighbors to be neighborly. You have a car. I don't have one. We'll pull together. It's true now. Two of us will go to the market.
Social distancing,
yes, we'll stay in the back seat. And then you keep the items in the booth.
Social distancing.
So social distancing means two people cannot stay in a car.
No, you can't.
If
anyway,
you are feeling neighborly,
so if
help
you
your
are
neighbors.
Along, I don't know why there's looks like there's a bit of traffic along Ikorodu. So if you're going towards Ikorodu, if you're coming out of Ikorodu to the mainland area, there's a bit of traffic, but it's not bad. It's not bad. It's just all orangey kind of.
Orangey, I like that.
Usually on a Monday morning, it's red. It's red, and sometimes it takes you an hour, 30 minutes to just get through the traffic. But it's looking like 20-25 minutes you'll be out of the traffic. I think maybe for people, a lot of people going towards the Mile 12 market area, that might be one of the issues going on there. So if you wanted to go shopping this morning, do it quickly, like I said, and so that you will be back home.
Well, it's as you just pointed out. In fact, that long stretch from K2 bus stop, Yomi, all the way to CMS garage, 47 minutes, Pere. Can you believe it? Lagos is beautiful. This is what people outside Lagos have been enjoying for years. If you have to go to work, wow, sweet drive.
Wow.
Okay, so I guess you want to take some tweets?
I just wanted to, of course, the governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu yesterday was talking about the lockdown, and he was encouraging Lagosians not to. Well, let me just read some of the tweets.
That would be much better.
He said, as we enter an initial 14 days lockdown, remember he said initial, announced by His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari at M. Buhari. I understand the uncertainty that a lot of you are feeling at the moment, but I want to encourage you to be resilient. We will beat #COVID-19. He says, we'll use this containment period to identify, trace, and isolate all individuals that have come into contact with confirmed cases. We'll ensure the treatment of confirmed cases while restricting further spread to other states, which is really, really important,
Yes,
very key.
very,
so they were
very
saying
important.
that even though we have 111 cases, there could be others and people who have made contacts with some of these cases as well. So they want to make sure that, look, during this 14-day period, we find all these guys, test them, make sure that everybody's okay before we then make any further decisions based on the assessments.
I was talking to someone who lives outside Lagos, and the person was like, that was on Saturday night. People should keep your thing in your state. And now it's finally happening. Hopefully we can be able to contain it and make it end, because this thing is actually spreading to different states, and only because most of those in Lagos who have been infected, instead of staying here, are still going around. So that's actually why this is important. Many people are not pleased. It's inconvenient for everybody. You'll be amazed. It is inconvenient. But we have to do what we have to do. We're talking about life and death here.
Exactly.
And people are dying all over the world.
One of the headlines was saying it's a matter of life and death.
Yes.
And also, very important, sources of information. A lot of times you can get
conflicting stuff.
You can get a WhatsApp forward. Suddenly, don't come out of your house or take this particular medicine. So some people are saying chloroquine. Some are saying use aspirin. Some are saying bathe in this and that. Be careful. Confirmed sources of information, WHO. We also have the Federal Ministry of Health, that's the FMOH. We also have the NCDC, Center for Disease Control. We have the Lagos State Government if you live in Lagos. So these are confirmed sources of information that you can use for your life, right? So really, really important. Don't take something based on face value. For instance, yesterday, some people were saying, "Oh, it's now airborne."
It's not true.
And that the disease can stay.
That actually trended last week, but it's not true. I actually had to go to the website on Friday because I knew I would need it on Saturday morning for my show, and that was when I realized that this isn't even true, and the stuff was believable.
So WHO, what they try to do is that for every rumor that is out there, they go and they try to debunk it. So and then they bring out this poster where they said that it's not true, that it's airborne. It doesn't stay in the air for 8 hours like some people were saying. So just be careful. Just practice social distancing, like it was said, like we're doing now. Social distancing, about 3 feet. And also wash your hands frequently. If you're sneezing, sneeze into your arm. If you've got a cold or anything like that, try and cover, try and not pass it to somebody else. And so just little things will keep you safe at every point.
You guys, don't you worry. We'll definitely give you more info in the course of the day. If you want to check it out yourself, you can go to who.int, okay? That could help. who.int, you see all the info you need to know, especially about the coronavirus pandemic, okay?
And those are the things that you should share.
Yes.
And even on the website, they have all this little...
how to wear face mask, who needs to wear it.
Short video. So those are the things that you should then put on your WhatsApp.
Guys, we'll give you more updates on this in the course of the show, don't worry. We have to take a quick break though. We'll be back. Stay with us.
I teach people that gratitude is important. It's very important to be grateful for what you have. One of the most important practices for living a joyful life is to be grateful every day, to actually keep a gratitude journal. But sometimes some people, the way that we are grateful is to compare ourselves with other people. At least I'm not as uneducated as this person. At least I'm finer than this person. At least I'm richer than this person. At least I have more likes on my posts than this person. And I always say to people, if that's the way you can do your own gratitude, that's fine. That's okay. Start from there. But it's not the best way. Because what happens when that person that you are grateful that you are richer than gets richer than you? What happens when the colleague that you are comparing yourself with gets promoted over you? What happens when the other wife to your husband, who you think is never going to have a child, gets a child? What happens when the artist that didn't get a record deal gets a record deal and blows more than you? It's safer for you to learn to be grateful without comparison with somebody else. To be grateful for who you are and the life you have. Whether somebody else's life is going better or worse, it's not your business. You wake up every morning and you think, God or life, I am grateful for being healthy. I am grateful for the little thing you've given me. I'm grateful for the wife, the boyfriend, the girlfriend. I'm grateful for the house, the food that I have. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for the visa that I received. I'm grateful for the promotion. It's better for you to be grateful for your life by itself without comparison to anybody else. That way, no matter what is happening in life, no matter what is happening with other people, whether you like them or not, whether they are enemies or your friends, you can be assured that you can find something to be grateful for every single day.
Very good. What are you grateful for today? Very, very nice there. Now, it's time for tech updates. What's happening in the world of technology? There's lots of stuff going on right now. People are at home and, believe it or not, everyone is on their device, whether it's their iPad or whatever pad they use or their mobile devices. Someone is downloading an app right now, and that's increasing all around. So tech updates for you. And starting with WhatsApp. Now, of course, WhatsApp users have increased, and social media usage has grown as a result of the COVID-19 crisis, as more users go online to stay connected with family, friends, and colleagues. Now, new data from Insight and consulting firm Kantar reveals exactly how much some apps are benefiting. Now, according to a survey of more than 25,000 customers in 30 markets conducted from March 14 to 24, WhatsApp is the social media app that has experienced the greatest gains due to COVID-19. Overall, Facebook-owned WhatsApp has seen a 40% increase in usage that grew from an initial 27% bump in the early days of the pandemic to 41% from the mid-phase. For countries already in the later phase of the pandemic, WhatsApp usage has jumped by 51%. Wow. And in individual markets, that usage may be even higher, Kantar noted. For example, WhatsApp usage in Spain was up 76%. And across all messaging platforms, the growth in usage has been the largest in the 18 to 34-year age group, the study also found. In addition, WhatsApp, Facebook, and Instagram saw a 40% plus increase in usage from this same demographic. Wow. That's absolutely amazing. So people definitely trying to stay safe and get as much information as they can through WhatsApp. Even the president's speech last night, I must have gotten it like 10 times from different people because everyone is trying to stay in touch. Very, very important during this period. Now, Apple is extending free trials for its products. And last week, they said that they're temporarily extending free trials on Final Cut Pro X and Logic Pro X from 30 days to 90 days, which is really, really good, giving potential customers stuck at home a longer window of time to try out the software, especially for editors and people who are producers and things like that. Apple says the company hopes the promotion will benefit creative Mac users, very important, and especially students who find themselves creating and learning in new environments. Apple joins a number of other software companies extending the free trials of their products in the midst of the COVID-19 crisis. Notably, Apple does not charge subscription pricing. So if you want to continue using the video or audio editing software suites, you will have to pony up the full purchase price. Wow. Logic Pro X retails at $199. That's about $200. And Final Cut Pro, about $300. Apple says that the extended trial is already live for Final Cut Pro X and will be honored for recent downloads, while the Logic Pro X should gain the extended trial in the coming days. So also to another competitor. So we talked about the first competitor, that's Facebook, and then Apple. Now we're talking about Google. Now, Google says it's disabling online business and should be a last resort. Google has issued a set of guidelines and a helpful FAQ website owners to try and minimize the damage being done by worldwide shutdowns, both online and off, over the coronavirus pandemic. The company says the most important advice it can give is to avoid disabling a website altogether, so long as it's feasible to continue paying the hosting fees. Some domain registrars like GoDaddy and Namecheap are offering support to customers concerned they won't be able to maintain websites adversely affected by the shutdowns. But Google says disabling a site may harm its search rankings when it is brought back online. Wow, so many things happening all around us. And, so of course, with our tech updates, there are new apps that people are engaging with. There's a recent one that I saw, something called House Party. So that's how, people are hooking up and playing games and engaging themselves, which is really, really good for us. I think we have a music video coming up, Mary.
Yeah, I believe we do. And it's
Yellowstone National Park, this 3,470
tech right now, because hashtag cut data prices is trending. We were talking about it off air together. And my worry is for those who are actually employed in that industry. As much as in the tech world, so many people are now beginning to use these apps like WhatsApp, as you mentioned. We also have to, data prices have to be more friendly. However, on the long run, what happens? That's the question now. Hopefully, there's a particular telecommunications company that usually takes initiative. So we are hoping that company.
So I think people are also saying, cut data prices because lots of people are streaming videos right now.
Yes, that's
binge
the way
watching series all over the place. So yeah, so definitely, I mean, if you end up spending 20 to 30,000 for data. For data during this period, I mean, that's crazy. So
it's insane. So the consumers have a right to make a request for that. At the same time, we can only hope that it will not affect jobs on the long run. All right, so Yomi, that music video you talked about, I believe it's about time for us to check it out.
Yeah, so it's Ordinary People by Cobams Asukwa. It was released in 2014 with a message to help bridge the gap between people.
Yeah,
and right now there's a lot of gap between people, between families, between individuals, friends, colleagues at work. Lots of people are lonely at home. If you're single, this is not a great period for you.
Go home. Go and meet mommy and daddy.
You got
There's
Jesus.
still a chance to travel today if you want.
If you're single, you've got Jesus, so give him a big hug. Welcome to the second hour of the most exciting breakfast television show on Nigerian TV, Wake Up Nigeria. 1 hour already gone by and an hour 45 minutes to go. We believe that you were strongly taking our advice to stay safe and stay at home as well, because that is going to be happening from tonight. But if you need to go out, you can still go out and do everything you need to do very quickly before 11 p.m. because Lagos State and a number of other states, the Federal Capital Territory and Ogun State, are going to be on lockdown for 14 days. 14 days, and that's going to be happening. And in order to keep you all entertainment while this country is self-isolating, we're here to ensure you don't have a boring time. My name is Yomi. Right now, you can send in your comments across all our social media platforms. What are you doing during this lockdown? Because now it's a compulsory lockdown. Initially, we said, let's self-isolate. But few Nigerians weren't obeying those rules. So now it's an essential lockdown that's happening across all our homes. So let us know what you're up to. Some people are, doing push-ups. Some others are cooking, whatever it is that you're doing. How are you keeping the kids engaged? We want to see what you're up to, and we're going to be telling you how to do it in the next few days. Now, you also have the option to stream with us live. TVCentertainment.tv right now, that's happening, and also on Facebook as well at TVC Connect. So if for any reason the power goes off, you can still be with us live. Now, download our app as well, both on the Android and iOS stores. This app lets you watch us anywhere you are, whether you're in your bed or you're out exercising, you can still be with us as well. Now, straight to the rest of this morning's highlights. Now, it's a different kind of show the next few weeks, so stay with us, stay close with us. Now, a tour around the world. We're going to be going to one of our global cities in 180 seconds. That's coming up shortly.
Of 180 Seconds Travel. Today, we are heading
For some positive motivational vibe during this COVID-19 period, we have emotional intelligence expert and author Tosin Imogieme joining us. And in our pet segment today now, TT recently visited a pet store to find out a little more about monkeys. And finally, we're joined via Skype by Mary Ogundimu, a conscientious, motivated lady, passionate about women development and enhancement. She's going to be talking to us about building relevant skills in a knowledge economy and how to monetize them. So, you know, last night, the Ogun State Minister of Health, they put out a notice that if you're feeling any emotional or psychological distress because of the stay-at-home order or the self-isolation, you just feel isolated and a bit choked up during this period, they actually put a helpline, an emergency line that you can call. So if you need someone to talk to, can you imagine? That's really, really good.
Yeah, amazing. We need this in Lagos.
Yeah.
Yesterday night, during my radio show, I actually asked people to call in and tell me what the experience has been like so far and their plan for the new week. And most people were talking about how the children called.
Oh, okay.
So I got a 12-year-old, I got a 16-year-old, SS1, GSS2 complaining about how it's so boring being home with mommy and daddy.
Yeah. So I think maybe one of the things that we're going to work out, I think we'll try and work something out with our viewers. Let's try to see how we can engage,
something to engage
with them
during the day.
while the show is on. So live, maybe via Skype, via WhatsApp, or so beyond just our social media pages, Instagram,
I totally
Facebook,
agree. I think it's a fantastic
and Twitter.
idea.
Let's see how we can engage with you guys live and get you guys on air.
Yeah, so to speak. And
get a
that
few
would
of
be
our
really
viewers
nice.
on there.
Send videos and then we play them. Something fun.
So send us what you're up to. Tell us how you're feeling. There are some people who are genuinely afraid, and for that reason, they just want someone to encourage them. So even though we get a little bit of that on our churches and our various religious congregations, that consistent encouragement is what's important.
Really, really important.
Yeah.
And you know something else that is important? Giving a very handsome little boy a happy birthday shout out. I just had to do this. So it's straight to Abdulmahin Adeyeye. Happy birthday to you. Is 6 years old today.
6, wow.
Yes, is 6 years old today and is the currently only son of
only son.
Daudu.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we have to respect ourselves when mentioning that.
That's one of our producers.
Our producers,
a senior producer actually.
Yeah, and she's quite a powerful little lady. So, there are certain things that we just have to do. But this one is because I personally really love the boy. When he comes around
not because Halima threatened
Halima can threaten me. Me, I chose to do this. She doesn't even know. But because this boy is a bundle of excitement and activity.
And energy,
Oh my gosh. If he was on this set, let's just say that Yomi's shoes will not be on his feet anymore. Really, really funny guy.
Yeah, very nice. So we have to take the news now, and we're going to be beginning with breaking news this hour regarding the COVID-19 cases which are happening right now. And right now we have in Lagos State 111 cases total in Nigeria. Now, that's based on the fact that 14 new cases were confirmed. Now, according to the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, 9 new cases were discovered in Lagos and 5 in the Federal Capital Territory. And this was last night. Now, the total confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Nigeria is 111, with 1 death reported. Now, the president's address to Nigerians was much awaited since the pandemic found its way into the country. Muhammadu Buhari noted that the most of the confirmed cases are in Lagos and Abuja. The other states affected are persons who traveled from the two epicenters in the country, and so to limit interstate and intercity movement, this lockdown is being enforced from today. Thus, his decision, he warns that there will be strict compliance as all relevant authorities have been notified of this order. Those exempted from this presidential order are hospitals and related medical establishments, including manufacturing and distribution companies involved in food processing, distribution, and retail, as well as petroleum distribution, retail, and power generation, and private security firms. Others are telecommunications firms, broadcast, print, and electronic media practitioners who must prove that they cannot work from home. The president also says there will be palliatives for the vulnerable persons in society who will be affected by the clampdown. The president says the presidential task force is coordinating all efforts by the federal government to ensure the prevention and treatment of COVID-19 in the country and is prepared for any eventualities. Now, Lagos, a population of 24 million people, will be shut down for the next 2 weeks. This is a huge upgrade to the partial lockdown presently in place. Adejoda Salam Adeni reports.
From 11 p.m. on Monday, there shall be no inter- or intrastate movement. All commercial businesses will be closed. Movement within the city will be restricted. It is now compulsory for every citizen of Lagos to stay at home. It is no longer an advisory. It is now the law. With this presidential directive, 24 million Lagosians have 24 hours to stock up on basic necessities for 2 weeks. Fortunately for Lagos residents, it is not completely unexpected. The Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, during his last broadcast, have warned residents it may come to this.
If you don't have a need to go out, please don't go out. That's rule number one. Rule number one is stay indoors. It's only if you're on essential service that you've been allowed to go out.
The Lagos State government has expressed fears that the state might record up to 39,000 cases of COVID-19 in the state. Commissioner for Health, Akin Abayomi, also expressed this fear while briefing journalists last Thursday. He said this may be the worst scenario. It could, however, be limited to 13,000 if everybody adheres to and practices the measures directed by the government, especially social distancing.
We have deployed our second strategy, which is that of social and physical distancing. What do we mean by that? We've sent out multiple educative videos and animations to show you that the idea is that we interrupt the opportunity for the virus to spread from one person to another.
Meanwhile, all essential services will still run, as earlier announced by the governor of Lagos State. Hospitals, pharmacies, foodstuff stores, telecoms operators, fire services stations, and media houses will remain open. Adedoja Salam Adeniyi, TVC News, Lagos.
Well, that's it for the news update for this hour. Mary has sports next after the weather update. Well, today is Monday, March 30th, 2020, and it's time for a second look at the newspaper headlines. Officially, we're starting the lockdown, 14-day lockdown in Lagos from today. Now, Buhari shuts down Lagos, says the cover of The Guardian, Abuja, Ogun, for 14 days. Orders repayment, moratorium on loans, food rations, and to sustain school feeding program amid stay-at-home. And Fayemi Oyetola lockdown Ekiti, Oshun, and a few other riders there. A global shortage of testing capacity, ventilators threaten efforts to contain COVID-19. That story is on page 4. And immigration, CG, tests positive for COVID-19. And also on COVID-19, experts predict new wave of mortgage defaults in the U.S. And concerns mount over underground water pollution in Lagos communities. And on other news, why 5 million metering gap may persist, import charges, COVID-19 worsen situation. And that's it on The Guardian for this morning. And The Nation's got the headline, Buhari shuts down Lagos, Abuja, Ogun for 14 days. Federal government revs up anti-COVID-19 battle and Senate backs president's action. And other stories, 100 billion Naira healthcare stimulus. CBN sets 2 billion Naira limit for borrowers. And Tinubu, I didn't call for printing of Naira notes. Suggestion far-fetched. I've been working from home, says Abba Kyari. And row over cause of Akure explosions. Residents count losses. And we've got the Daily Sun next. In bids to prevent COVID-19 spread, Buhari orders lockdown in Lagos, Abuja, and Ogun. Movement out into states and FCT banned for 14 days. And residents ordered to stay at home except those on essential services. And global cases now, well, it's now 700,000. Even though Daily Sun says 691,000. And COVID-19 fears in armed forces as top officers test positive, including Immigration CG, UCH CMD, and UI College of Medicine Provost, and his deputy as well. Anambra announces closure of Onitsha River Niger Bridge, and Fayemi, Makinde, Ogwai, others impose restriction of movements. Look beyond Lagos, help other states, Senate tells banks, and commuters stranded as Delta enforces border closure. And on the cover of the Daily Sun, we have an infographic giving us the number of states that have been affected by COVID-19. And right now, it looks like there are 12 states affected. And the other states are not affected for now, which is the reason for the lockdown. And the Nigerian Tribune has the headline, COVID-19, Buhari locks down Lagos, Ogun, Abuja. And this is a matter of life and death. That's the major story this morning, and you can find details on page 5. It says, directs the cessation of all movements from 11 p.m. today for 14 days. All businesses, offices to be fully closed, and plans on to sustain school feeding program, and 3-month repayment moratorium for all trader money, market money, farmer money loans in place. Similar moratorium put in place for all federal government funded loans by BOI, Bank of Agriculture, Nexim Bank, and 2-month food ration for IDPs. And that's what we've got on the cover of the Nigerian Tribune. And then the Vanguard also has a related headline. COVID-19, Buhari orders lockdown in Lagos and the FCT and in Ogun. Restriction on movement effective 11 p.m. today in Ogun, Lagos and FCT. And media workers exempted if, and there's a big if there. If you're a media worker, you need to find details of that story on page 7. And pilgrims camps, stadia to be used as isolation centers. Air transport suspended, and 15 billion Naira intervention package provided already. And Abba Kyari speaks from isolation, says he's moving to Lagos for treatment. And lawyers divided over Buhari's restriction order. That story is on page 37. You know, the lawyers will always speak. And COVID-19 outlook for foreign investors in treasury bills dims. That's a business story you'd find in Financial Vanguard. And travelers stranded as security agents enforce lockdown in Rivers, Delta, Ekiti, others. So people can't travel right now. And Akure explosion, Nastra, false police report. Global infection of COVID-19 hits 700,000 as experts predict 200,000 deaths in the U.S. Wow. And federal government failed to explore testing options, say experts. And UI College of Medicine provost deputy immigration boss tests positive. And Tinubu donates 200 million naira to Lagos government and the NCDC. And Serap to federal government publish weekly spending details on COVID-19. And our photo story on the Vanguard this morning has President Muhammadu Buhari addressing the nation over the COVID-19 pandemic from the State House in Abuja yesterday. And we have also the governor of Lagos State and the FCT minister, Bello, and Governor Dapo Abiodun of Ogun State, all the territories and states affected by the 14-day lockdown that starts from tonight. That's what we have on the cover of the Vanguard. I think we have this day here, which is the final newspaper for this morning. And Buhari locks down Lagos, Ogun, Abuja as COVID-19 cases rise to 111. That's what I have here in my hand in this day. And also a few other stories. Federal government directs oil firms to cut offshore workforce. NNPC, DPR differ over Nigeria's petrol stock. ASU demands 1.1 trillion naira for universities' revitalization. And a few other stories here. Celebrating 68, Tinubu donates 200 million naira to fight COVID-19. And finally, and we have the president with a live shot there, says, Mr. President on COVID-19. And this was his nationwide broadcast yesterday in Abuja. That's what we have on the cover of this day that you can see in my hand right there. And that's about it on the newspaper headlines for this morning, all talking about the COVID-19 and how 3 territories and states in Nigeria are going to be on lockdown for the next 14 days. It's time for fitness. What are you doing at home this morning? Join us and see what you can do to lose some weight.
Hi, my name is Olatunde Igbenga. You're welcome to the fitness segment with Classic Benga. Today, we're going to be working on our upper body. So, remember to always stretch. The first routine is to always stretch. It prepares your body for the workout. So let's go. Since you're working on the upper body, we're going to be focusing more on the upper body. So we're stretching. Stretch the arms all the way. All the way. So after your stretch, our first routine is this. We're going to be doing pull-ups. Place your hand in a very comfortable position and you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is called the wide grip. When you want to do the lower grip, you place your hand close to each other. You're going to be doing it so you can see the routine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Yes, this is very, very good for your upper body. My favorite is the mountain climb. I call it the mountain climb because it's quite like someone climbing the mountains. So this is how we're going to do it. You're going to come this way and you move with your hands. very simple, but a little bit technical. So you go 1, 2. You come back again, 1 and 2. You go front again, 1 and 2. Back again, 1 and 2. Remember to always focus on your tricep when you're doing this move. It's very important. So let's go again. 1, 2. Back again, 1 and 2. Let's go front again. 1, 2. Back again, 1 and 2. By now your arms are supercharged, your body is supercharged, even the arms will feel it. So we'll have one last routine and then we'll call it a day. So let's go. 1, 2. 1, 2. Go sideways. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. As you can see, my body is all charged up, your upper body is charged up. Remember to drink lots of water and always remember to focus on your diet because you want to lose that body fat. Thanks for watching. Until next time.
You are welcome to another edition of 180 Seconds Travel. Today, we are heading over to a beautiful safari park in Africa called Inyika National Park. Inyika National Park is located in northern Malawi with a small portion in northeastern Zambia. Founded in 1965, it is the biggest of all the national parks in the country, with no less than 3,200 kilometers of beautiful rolling scenery. The high number of rivers and impressive waterfalls explain Inyika's name. Inyika means where the water comes from. It is composed by a succession of hills with breathtaking views, valleys of Miombo woodland, and evergreen forest. Often compared to wilderness areas in Europe, Inyika has tourist attractions like Chisanga Falls, where the North Rukuru River falls off the plateau, to the Lira district, Neolithic rock shelter, trout pools, and even a magic lake. Leopard, antelope, zebra abound. The park is also known for its wildlife, with other animals like birds, butterflies, and so on. The flora of the plateau include gladioli, delphiniums, and is home to over 200 species of orchids. Visitors can try out insima with chamber dish, Malawian futali, mandazi, mbatate, and other finger-licking meals. Want to go on a fun adventure in Inyika? Well, there are quite a number of fun activities like mountain biking, where you can discover plateau with great domes of hills and gentle slopes. Go on a walk with your friends and family, or go fishing. Now you know you will be welcome to an exclusive stay at Inyika National Park that spoils guests with a prime occasion. That's it on 180 Seconds Travel, and until next time, keep seeing the world.
So how about some Monday motivation for you, some positive vibes? Now we've got life coach, emotional intelligence expert, public speaker, soft skill trainer, and author Tosin Imogeme, who has a message to share with us during this sensitive period. Let's take a look at this.
Hi guys, my name is Tosin Imogeme. I'm a life coach, an emotional intelligence expert, and an author. And I'd like to talk about the global crisis we've been having, which is COVID-19, which is ravaging the world. And I'd like to highlight a few points to help us manage ourselves. Because you see, it's not the load you carry that wears you down. It's how you carry it. So the first thing I'd like us to take note is the fact that pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Pain is inevitable, but how you react to that pain is optional. Since the beginning of the world, we've always had global crisis. A few years ago, we had Ebola. Recently, there was an explosion. The economy is bad. Things are not going the way they ought to. These are painful situations. But how you respond is completely optional. So the first step is to review your situation. Dr. Wayne Dyer once said, when you change the way you look at things, the things that you look at, they tend to change. If someone dies, for example, there's no direct effect on your health. There isn't. It's just your emotional response, how you react to it emotionally. So if you look at it from a positive angle, if you say, oh, it's time for them to die, they fulfill their purpose, because life is all about significance and not how we live, you would fare better. Looking at it from a positive angle, you would fare better. But if you look at it from the negative angle, you feel bad, it's not their time to die, oh, it's not right, it's not fair, you become all messed up. You would begin to suffer from that circumstance. So always change the way you look at things. As regards COVID-19, let's see it positively. Let's see it as a testing of our faith. Let's see it as coming to bring out the best out of us. Because you see, seeds of greatness are always inherent in us. But sometimes it takes a crisis to make it grow. And finally, let's see it as coming to inspire innovation in our nation. Recently, I heard the Minister of Education talk about the fact that they are going to be taking teachers on radio to educate students, from the media, which is an innovation. You see, schooling is not going to interfere with education. You can be educated at home. You can do your business from home. So this is a time for you to become innovative. This is a time for you to begin to think about new ways of doing things. Charles Darwin once said, it's not the strongest of species that, survive. It's the ones that are most adaptable to change. We need to adapt to change because change is constant. Change will always come. And that's what COVID-19 is about to, bring about. The second point I'm going to be mentioning is the fact that don't panic. Do not panic. Don't panic. You see, fear is already making people suffer even more than the virus. Fear is already killing people even more than the virus. And what doctors do not tell patients is the fact that they will be treating their fears just as much as they'll be treating their sickness or their injury. Because fear is a great intensifier of pain. Fear overwhelms you. Fear is false evidence appearing real. Fear is an illusion. It makes you interpret the situation, negatively. Worry is not good for your health. Do not worry. Worry is the most dangerous activity on the surface of the earth. All it does is to just raise your blood pressure up. It has no health benefit. If, for example, if COVID-19 can be resolved, what's the point of worrying? Because in 1, 3, 6 months, it means it's all going to be gone. Because scientists are already taking research, are making research. So if it's going to be resolved, there's no need to worry. On the other hand, if it's not going to be resolved, what's the point of worrying? What's the point of dying before your death? Allowing stress, worry, fear kill you. There's no point. So do not panic. You need to remember the fact that, you see, ships do not sink because of the water around them. No. Ships sink because of the water that gets into them. So amidst the chaos and the uncertainties in the world, keep stillness, within you. Stay calm, stay focused. The third point I'll be mentioning is the fact that you need to mind your own business. There's something called God's business, which is the weather. You can't control the weather. When you're going out, you don't know if there's going to be traffic. You can't control that. You don't know what the future holds. You can't control that. That's God's own business. There's something called other people's business. People's opinion of you. People's reaction of you. You can't control that. If, for example, your spouse is going to cheat on you, you can't control that. But you can control yourself, which is your own business. You can control your decisions. You can control your emotions, your perception. You can control it. So if there's anything you need to worry about you taking the right measures, you taking the preventive measures, you washing your hands regularly, you observing the social distancing. Those are the things you need to be worried about. The final point is gratitude. Embrace an attitude of gratitude. You see, cancer patients are treated using 2 steps: chemotherapy and 4 hours of comedy television. Why do they do this? Because they understand the fact that, you see, when patients are positive, it quickens their healing process. The body produces endorphins when you're happy, when you're positive, and enables you heal faster. So this is a time more than ever for us to be happy, for us to be grateful, for you to focus on the positive things. Someone said that if anything bad has happened to you, God is the reason why everything bad has not happened to you. Focus on gratitude. Be happy. You have a home to stay in. You have food to eat. You have not been infected with the virus yet. Focus on the right things. Be grateful. Gratitude is very important. It boosts your immune system. So I like to encourage us. You see, how we fare, how we manage ourselves goes a long way. We have a good immune system that can overcome just anything. But we need to stay positive. We need to take the right measures in overcoming this virus. And in no time, by the grace of God, we will overcome this current crisis. Thank you very much. It's my pride, privilege, and pleasure to be doing this.
All right, so from social isolation, it's now total lockdown for the next 14 days. So you're stuck with us here on the show, and hopefully we're going to be bringing you what we can to make sure that we'll make your mornings at least bearable as much as we can. So anyway, we're going to find out what works for you. Our prayers are with the nation, and we hope that very soon is going to be even more smiles, and we're going to be a bit more relaxed as the COVID virus gradually makes its way out of our country and out of the world as well. My name is Yomi Okwe. Do stay right here with us. 2 hours gone by already. We've been here since 6 a.m. Don't ask me how I got to work, but we're going to always be here with you no matter what. Once you turn on your TV at 6 a.m. every single day over the next 2 weeks, we're going to be here. And we can promise that you're going to be getting the very best from us. Send in comments to us. Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. That's on Instagram, on Facebook, and also on Twitter. Let us know what you're up to this next few weeks. We're going to also be telling you some of the innovative things we're going to be doing as well on the show on how you can participate. Let us know what you're up to. Are you exercising? Are you cooking? How are you engaging the kids? How are you getting them ready for whatever it is that they're doing? Are you participating in any exchange programs, online exchange programs? I heard that people are hooking up, trying to see what they can do to keep their children engaged. Let us know what you're up to. Anyway, you can also download our app, both on the Android and iOS stores. Now, this app lets you watch us whether you have electricity or not. You can just watch us directly on your mobile device. Now, let's get you set for the rest of the things that we have for you on the show today. Mary's in the kitchen. Nothing's happening there. I was hoping that, you know...
Yomi, you can't even allow me to enjoy my tea in peace. I have to quickly drop it.
I just thought...
I was enjoying the fact that you have all, this particular time covered. Let me just pretend
I just thought that at least, Mary, you would break an egg and just
egg. It's not only egg.
Make an omelette.
It's fried sausages.
Or some toast or something like that for us.
Don't worry. One of these days we're going to have grilled sausages, proper English breakfast. Another time it might be fruit salad. Another time it might be pancakes. Another time it might be toast.
Exactly. That's what we're talking about.
But whoever is in the kitchen gets to eat it alone. So if it's you eat it alone. Because it's still social distancing.
Social distancing, not too close. And we're also keeping our chefs on the show. We're keeping them safe. So we said, you know what? The next 2 weeks, chefs, stay by yourself. We can take care of ourselves on the show. We're fine. And anyway, straight to what we have for you for the rest of the show, the next 45 minutes on our pet segment. Titi, believe it or not, visited a pet store to find out more about monkeys. Wow. And then we've also got spoken word for you this morning. We've got spoken word. Marvel Iyari, also known as MTB. He's a spoken word artist, rapper, and he's got some strong vibes to share with us this Monday.
Give me to present a piece about bringing the pieces of the puzzle together, but I came with an empty sheet. Because honestly, I see no reason for this poem. And maybe my pessimism is born out of a one-night stand with reality. But if there is something beyond reality, you tell me. No, don't tell me. So please, why have you let your lips...
Okay, so Yomi, there was something I found out.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just quickly mention a couple of other things happening today. Today is Pencil Day.
Pencil Day.
Of which I saw someone write, we are all pencils in the hand of the creator. It looks like some people have become really deep thinkers these days.
Exactly. Like everybody's introspective.
I'm telling you, because you have too much time in your hands.
Mm-hmm.
Today is also Take a Walk in the Park Day. I'm not sure that's a good idea, so you might want to ditch that. However, today, most importantly, is Doctor's Day. Now, we are aware of the pandemic. We are aware of everything going on around the world. Yeah. So we just want to give a big shout out to every medical worker right now.
Medical workers.
Like,
so
I'm not just...
doctors, nurses...
pharmacists, even the cleaners.
Yes, the medical assistants, maintenance people.
Everybody involved, the laboratory folks, everybody involved in trying to keep this pandemic in control and trying to make sure it's contained as well. We just want to say thank you.
Cleaners, refuse disposal guys. There are some people that have to get rid of medical waste. Which is pretty dangerous, pretty dangerous job.
I was even talking about the fact that essential workers also applies to refuse collectors. Because the last thing we need is these guys stay away and then everywhere is filled up with... It's
piled up and all that. So definitely, I know that there's a list, and the list might also be tweaked a little bit to accommodate a number of other people as well, because I'm not sure the environmental guys were listed, but I'm sure that they're essential services within this context.
So. And then we look at banks as well. I do not think banks will be open anymore.
Not likely from tomorrow.
Not likely from tomorrow, because I wanted to be sure. I know there's usually this talk of when a bank is shut, then there's trouble in the land.
Yeah.
But we should not panic, okay? Whatever money we need, I'm sure we could do transfers as well. Having cash at home is even dangerous, because that's like you attracting negative folks.
Yeah. So very important. I mean, there are a number of also indications, security indications being passed around by the police, IG of police as well. People need to be careful at home. Don't click on unknown links in your emails, WhatsApp.
Get hacked. It's as simple as that.
There's also some forwards going around about people offering free data. Don't click on those things.
Don't.
People are fishing for your details, your information. Some people think that if people don't have your PIN number on your ATM card, they can do something with it. They actually can, especially for international
bank
transactions.
accounts, phone numbers. You've given them most of the details they need.
So be careful. Don't just click on random links that are sent to you, and be safe. And if somebody comes to you that they're COVID task force,
I've heard of some of those.
Yeah, exactly. So no COVID task. There's no one going around, and So
and it's a good thing. Even if you don't know how to use the internet, there ought to be someone not too far away from you that can use the internet. So you could ask the person to help you check certain information from verified sources. Okay. All right, Yomi, it's time for you to take the news.
All right, we're going to be beginning with some breaking news that we have 14 more cases of the coronavirus confirmed in Nigeria. Now, this is according to the Center for Disease Control. 9 new cases were discovered in Lagos and 5 in the Federal Capital Territory. Now, the total confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Nigeria is 111, with 1 death reported. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari's address to Nigerians was much awaited since the pandemic found its way into the country. Now, he noted that the most of the cases are in Lagos and Abuja. The other states affected are persons who traveled from the 2 epicenters in the country, and so to limit interstate and intercity movement, and thus his decision. Now, he warns that there will be strict compliance as all relevant authorities have been notified of this order. Those exempted from this presidential order are hospitals and related medical establishments, including manufacturing and distribution companies. Companies involved in food processing and distribution, and also retail, as well as petroleum distribution, retail, power generation, and private security firms. Now, others are telecommunication firms, broadcast, print, and electronic media practitioners who must prove that they cannot work from home. Now, the president also says there will be palliatives for the vulnerable persons in society who will be affected by this clampdown. The president says the presidential task force is coordinating all efforts by the federal government to ensure the prevention and treatment of COVID-19 in the country, and is prepared for anything that may happen. An Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, has warned Nigerians to remain vigilant and take precautionary measures against criminal elements who might take advantage of the emergency situation created by the pandemic to increase their activities. In a statement through Public Relations Officer Frank Mba, the police chief disclosed that the force had received intelligence that fraud and cybercrime are expected to rise due to the lockdown in some states. He enjoined the public to strictly adhere to the following security tips. Now, we'll bring you those tips probably later on the show. Now, despite measures being put in place by countries to curtail the spread of the coronavirus, cases of infections and deaths continue to rise. Globally, more than 722,000 people have been infected, with deaths toll surpassing 33,000. The U.S. remains the epicenter of the coronavirus, with about 140,000 cases of infections and nearly 2,500 deaths. President Donald Trump is now toughening up measures to contain the spread of the virus. He says social distancing guidelines will be extended across the U.S. until at least the 30th of April, with strict enforcements. President Trump warns that this week might be the peak of the pandemic in the U.S. and that the country might record between 100 and 200,000 deaths. And Japan recorded 173 new cases on Sunday, with 68 in Tokyo alone. This is the biggest single-day spike for the Japanese capital. Moscow, the Russian capital, has imposed a citywide quarantine on all residents starting from the 30th of March until further notice. A national leader of the All Progressives Congress has announced that he will be making a donation of 200 million naira to fight the deadly coronavirus pandemic. Bola Tinubu stated in a tweet that he will be making 100 million naira available to Lagos State and another 100 million naira to the NCDC to support their efforts in fighting the scourge of COVID-19. He commended residents of Lagos State for complying with the directives of the state government in observing social distancing and other measures to curb the spread of COVID-19 in the state.
And I'm happy that Nigerians, my friends, and particularly Lagos State, whose economic heartbeat of the country, is taking it very seriously and continue to maintain high level of proactive activities and commitment to the welfare of the populace.
The national leader of the APC there, Bola Tinubu. Well, that's it on the news update for this hour on Wake Up Nigeria. Let's bring you the weather update, and after that, sports with Mary.
Hi guys, welcome once again to the pet segment on Wake Up Nigeria. Once again, we're coming to you live from the Posh Paws Giants Veterinary Clinic in Ajah, Lagos. And well, hey, by now you know I just love animals. And today with me I have Kenny Anachuna. He's a pet consultant and animal enthusiast. He's especially enthusiastic about monkeys. Yes, you heard me right, monkeys. Hi, Kenny.
Welcome.
All right, so most people think of monkeys as completely wild animals. Are you going to sit here and tell me that I can have a monkey as a pet?
I'm going to tell you you can have a monkey as a pet. Not in every country you do need a permit to have these monkeys, and in the country we can have a monkey here as a pet. But they are wild animals and they branch into different groups.
Okay.
Like there's some monkeys that you can have and some that you can't, that can't be domesticated.
Okay.
So we're just focusing on the ones that you can have as pets.
All right, so which ones are we going to see today?
We're going to see a baboon and we're going to see Muna monkeys today.
All right, so a baboon could be a pet?
It can be a pet, yes.
And the Muna monkeys as well, they're a little smaller, right?
They're smaller and that's what makes them ideal as pets, especially in the house. Because most monkeys grow really big and you can't, that's another reason why you can't have them moving around the house. And the monkeys are smart, they're almost as smart as humans. So the way you train them is completely different, and having the smaller monkeys in the house is more ideal, especially to pet owners or anyone that wants to get a monkey as a pet.
And so what sort of monkeys can we see here today?
We can see Muna monkeys here today, and those are the ones that can be domesticated. Like I said, not all monkeys can be domesticated. Like mostly apes. Most apes can't be, especially because of their size, and they just don't work in the home.
All right.
And also some chimpanzees can actually be domesticated as well.
Why would I want to have a monkey as a pet?
So most people get pets to fill a hole in their lives, and they feel it's more you know, just to have something around that they can care for. But the thing people need to understand about getting a monkey as a pet is that it's actually like getting a child. And that can fill other holes to people. It can do a lot of things. So the way you train a monkey is almost the same way you can go about a child, but it just never grows up.
Okay.
So that's what I can tell people who are considering or thinking about the idea of actually having a monkey as a pet.
All right, so you've made a reference to monkeys as being like children, but they don't eat exactly what humans eat. So what sort of food are we talking about?
So monkeys really like vegetables, or you know, it's a stereotype that monkeys like bananas.
Yeah.
But it's more advisable to give them vegetables and fruits when they're around the house.
Okay.
That's what they usually eat most. That's what they enjoy eating. So that's what you usually feed them.
All
you
right.
can give them the banana, but yeah.
All right, so I love the idea of having a monkey, but it feels like a lot of work. Do you need to monitor them 24/7?
Well, you do and you don't, because it depends on how you want to have the monkey in the house. You can, it's honestly like, it's very different from having any other pet. You don't go about it like dogs. It is like having a child. You potty train the monkey so it doesn't do its business around. You buy diapers for the monkey, the food that you put out for the monkey, and they're very smart, so they won't make some of the mistakes or just trashing everywhere like dogs do.
Okay.
Like, it's like having another child in the house. So that's also another reason why people look to get them, because they don't have that at the moment.
All right then. So if I visit a vet, what sort of checks should I look out for when I get there?
Now with monkeys, when you visit the vet is going to give a lot of vaccinations, because monkeys are notorious for having diseases. And they can carry a lot of diseases. That's the only downside, I would say, if you were to. It's a lot of responsibility. It's very expensive to maintain having those monkeys, and all the vaccinations you have to pay for. They can get monkeypox, they can get a lot of things, even tuberculosis as well.
Wow.
Such disease such as that, so you have to be careful with that too.
All right then. My last question would be, if I have young children around, do you think it's the best idea to have a monkey?
I think it is, because of how monkeys are, especially around us with kids. They're very good with kids because they're very playful. They understand things in a way that humans can understand. So it's not like playing with a dog where you're scared, okay, this dog could bite the kids. I don't know if to trust the dog around my kid. They're very playful, and kids are going to get on with that because they want something that's going to keep them, you know, reactive, and they're going to have fun with it. But it is a lot of responsibility, I will say.
All right then.
That was an interesting feature there. Let me just add that TT did that feature many weeks ago, before the entire COVID outbreak thing. So it's not recent. We just thought that you should see it. So it's for those of you interested, probably later on in the year if you're interested in getting a pet like that, but not for now. Anyway, spoken word artist Marvel Iyari is also known as MTB. Now, he's a spoken word artist, a rapper, and compare. And he realized that he can use art to bridge the gap between the elite and the street. And he isn't afraid to talk about his convictions and what he really feels. Let's check him out.
My sarcophagus is unlocked. You brought a living burden to a tomb, asking me to present a piece about bringing the pieces of the puzzle together. But I came with an empty sheet. Because honestly, I see no reason for this poem. And maybe my pessimism is born out of a one-night stand with reality. But if there is something beyond reality, you tell me. No, don't tell me. So please, why have you let your lips speak hope eloquently and let your hands peddle pills of a better tomorrow? Why have you let your mouth, like 11:30 a.m., ring the bells of hope to these hungry people with expectations and promise them that there'll be a break from all this mess, a better tomorrow for the generation that is next? Tell me that Kolo's kids will grow up loving their father's songs that says, we are all we have and will defend our land. And maybe the reason why they'll choose to fight is because
Thank you for staying tuned. We are going to have a conversation very soon, okay? And of course, it's something that you will find very interesting. We're looking beyond this unfortunate, really sad period of the COVID-19 pandemic and looking to ensure that you keep building yourself, keep motivating yourself in preparedness for what lies ahead. That's beyond the pandemic, that is. All right, so we are going to be joined via Skype by Mary Ogundimu. She's a conscientious, motivated lady, passionate about women development and enhancement. She is a two-time leader of the Nigerian delegation to the Young African Women Congress, and she'll be talking about building relevant skills in a knowledge economy and how to monetize them. Welcome to the show, Mary. How are you doing today?
I'm very well, thank you. Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Fantastic. It's our pleasure. I'm so glad that we can look beyond now and talk about things that would actually help improve our capacity. So you want to talk about the skills, especially building on skills. So when you talk about building on skills, especially knowledge economy, what exactly are you talking about?
So I'm talking about it in the aspect of having some other things added to your knowledge as an individual beyond what you are going to study in school or the certificate you have earned along, your educational pursuit. And those things will be necessary for you to advance in life generally as an individual.
Okay, fantastic. So how then, let's even explore these skills, okay? Let's take a look at them one by one before we even talk about monetizing them. So which one are you starting with?
Okay, so I may be starting with, so I would like to be starting with the communication skills, which is really, really important because I remember, back then in school, my lecturer would always say that man cannot not communicate. So it is very important that wherever you find yourself, in whatever sector that you are, in oil and gas, in industry, in education, in religion, wherever sector you find yourself, it is very important that you are able to communicate effectively. I mean, there is the difference between, I tell people usually that there is a difference between just talking and then communicating exactly what you want to say, and then your receiver getting it the exact way you want it, you want him or her to get it. So communication skills, you building communication skills will help you a great deal so that along the line your message does not get distorted or you don't have the bad or the negative feedback that you are expecting. So communication skills are very important for you to learn as you go on in your journey, especially in career advancement. Another soft skill you may want to build is interpersonal relationship skills.
Okay.
A lot of people flop in this area. I mean, it's okay when people are around you and they are home. It's okay when people are around you and, they just feel like that safe place. Some persons are doing so bad in this area. Yes, they have gotten to the top of their career, they have climbed to the top of the ladder, but then this interpersonal relationship skills is just missing. I mean, sometimes they say, oh, I can help it, that's how I am, it's my temperament, but hey, you can learn it. It can be learned. It's a skill. It can be learned. You can learn how to accommodate people. You can learn how to relate with people. You can learn how to interact with people. You can learn how to just interrelate with people. Emotional intelligence is another skill you want to build. I mean, this one, you really cannot do without it. Because as you go on again in your journey, as you go on, as you keep on progressing, you would get to the point where you have to understand people for who they are and relate with them for who they are. Emotional intelligence will help you a great deal. You're able to understand people. You are able to know when to keep quiet. You know when to talk. You know what to say. You know how to say it. You know how to present an issue, no matter how hard or how difficult it is. You know how to empathize ties with people. So these are just, things you need to learn up along the line as you go on in your career, as you go on in your journey in life. Another skill you want to build is critical thinking. I mean, these are skills that will come in handy for you anytime, any day. You want to think beyond the normal. You want to think beyond, somebody sees a pair of shoes somewhere and you're looking at that shoe and you're seeing something different entirely. You're seeing something deeper than just, the makeup of the shoe. Critical thinking, the ability for you to go in depth into something.
Okay, so with all of these skills now, you've talked about communication skills, interpersonal relationship skills. You've also talked about emotional intelligence and even being able to build things from the ordinary. So how would you classify the skills? Because I know there's the hard skills and the soft skills. So which one falls into what category? Okay, so I'm not quite sure you heard me clearly. So I'm talking about...
So these ones I've done ask you, not things you can hold. So they're really referred as...
Okay, please go ahead. Please go ahead. I guess the pause made me think you didn't get my question right. Please go ahead. Oh, sadly, we lost the connection. Sadly, we lost the connection. But hey, we learned a few things. So first of all, it's important for us to develop our communication skills, extremely important. And then, of course, interpersonal relationship skills. We talk about emotional intelligence skills and also the ability to build something out of the seemingly ordinary. It's great to know we've reconnected with Mary Ogundimu. Hello, Mary. Can you hear me now? Oh, sadly, we lost it again. You know what? Because of time, we may be unable to conclude this right now. If we don't do so during the week, we'll probably do so in the coming week. But whatever the case may be, I believe we've learned a few things. Now, remember she said something about monetizing the skills as well. This is an area I believe everyone is interested in. Everyone wants to make money. Yeah, of course. So we'll look forward to more of that much later on the show. All right, so I believe that's it for today. Yomi's in the kitchen. And earlier you were going at me about preparing breakfast. I was thinking you wanted to create some magic there.
No, I'm not doing anything special in the kitchen now, but some of the things that Mary was talking about earlier are very instructive for people. You know, this is a period to learn a new skill. Whatever you can find online to learn is really, really important, and looking for ways to monetize those skills are also very important. Yeah. And also, you know, get some reading in there. Some of these things are not required reading, but when you participate, you can also learn a new skill and transform your life potentially during this period.
Indeed.
What do you think, Mary?
Well, I totally agree with you. It's a fantastic one, especially the monetizing aspect. When next we're able to connect with Mary Ogundimu, hopefully we can talk about the monetizing aspect. I just want to say a very big thank you to Mary. Thank you for your time. It's been quite an insightful conversation this morning. Of course, we're looking forward to learning more from her. Oh, she's right here. Hi, Mary. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, time didn't allow us to exhaust the discussion this morning. But hopefully we'll be able to talk about the monetizing aspects soon enough. I hope that will be fine. Yeah, we can't wait. Unfortunately, the network is really bad this morning, so we've lost the connection again, Yomi. Hopefully, one of these days, or maybe next Monday, there will be a concluding part to this conversation. Yeah. So I believe that's it for today.
That's it for today. Remember, we earlier on I spoke with Mary and we talked about getting you guys involved in the show.
Yes.
Let us know what you are doing during this 2 weeks of compulsory lockdown, especially in the city of Lagos, in Abuja as well. What are you doing? How are you engaging the kids? Some people say they're tired of the kids already. They want to go and dump them somewhere. So yeah, use the hashtag.
It'll be too late to do that after today.
Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. Let us know what you're up to. We're also going to be giving you some rules and some of the things that you're going to be doing from tomorrow and how you can participate on the show. And for some of our viewers, hopefully if you have good internet connection, we'll probably be Skyping live with you and your family at some point. So you get all the kids together, husband, wife, and the kids, you know, maybe around
How then do we practice social distancing now?
Yeah, they're in their house. You know, there's no social distancing when you're in the house.
Are you sure about that?
The kids are jumping on your back and all of that.
Right.
So you get you guys around together, maybe around the TV or something, and then we'll Skype live with you, and then you tell us what you're doing, what you guys had for breakfast and whatever. So maybe we'll do that either tomorrow or Wednesday.
Yeah.
So get ready to Skype with us. If you don't have a Skype, probably download it on one of your devices. Or your TV screen as well, those TV screens that have a little camera on it, or the smart TVs, you can also connect with us live as well. So
that would be fantastic. You know,
it'll be very nice. That's a way of engaging families throughout this period.
Yeah, for many young folks saying, I'm bored at home, mommies and daddies are saying, you know what, you people are driving me crazy. Oh, can this be lifted? Unfortunately, it cannot, because it's for our safety. And as I've stated a number of times on the show today, it's a matter of life and death. So we really need to take it as seriously as possible. Now, there's one way to not be bored. In fact, two options for you. If there is electricity, keep your TV dial locked on TVC Entertainment and TVC News as well. TVC in general. In fact, you can have your DSTV on one side, on TVC News, the other side, you know, on TVC, so you can just keep looking. No dull moments, believe me. And if there is no electricity, there's also the option of radio. So 102.3 Max FM is your option. There's plenty of entertainment either way, plenty of music, plenty of exciting stuff to keep you engaged. Believe me, boredom will run far away like bad energy, you know. Thank you so much for watching today. As usual, we will be here bright and early tomorrow. So make sure you tune in, all right? Yummy? What is it for you?
All right, so big thank you to all our friends, especially at Homely NG for the kitchen accessories here on the show, and those that participated on the show today as well. And thank you everyone for watching. Send us a selfie or something. Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
Very important.
We're going to see you tomorrow. We'll be here again at 6 a.m. Don't ask us how we get to work. We always just find our way here. And we're basically essential services. That's what we are.
That's right.
You
guys are important. So we have to be here. You all, very, very important. If we're not here, those children, you know what we are saying about boredom now. We need to keep you entertained. Thank you so much. Have a great day.